What's up, Nerf Herders? Hope you're all doing well out there and having a great day. We got some huge news from Star Wars here, some really huge news that kind of dropped out of absolutely nowhere because we've been waiting for this Obi-Wan Kenobi series for forever, and it's been kind of indefinitely delayed, and today they dropped a bombshell on us. So we're going to talk about this here. We got some casting and production start date to go over, and here at Nerf Herder Studios, if you haven't told by the name, we're really big Star Wars fans. So we're going to talk about this stuff, break it down a bit, but before we jump into the article here, hit the subscribe button, click that bell for notifications to keep up with the latest here, and we're going to jump right into the article here, and this is coming directly from the horse's mouth, StarWars.com. So, starting off with this logo here, I don't know if this is the logo that they have dropped previously. This one looks a little more updated. It's kind of Thanos dusted, or Sands of Tatooine, if you will, and then they've got the cute little Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber there to close it out there on the eye. So, but I like it,
it's
man.
Cool. It's like nice and weathered, dude. You know,
Yeah.
just like fucking Mos Eisley, bro. You know,
Yeah,
it's
dude.
it just got that vibe, that desert vibe to it, which I like, and it's in the traditional Star Wars font, you know, which is always cool to see. But
Yeah.
I dig how they did that, and I like that little lightsaber at the end, that little Easter egg, man, because it just kind of adds a little flavor, you know.
Yeah, it's almost like it's there, guys. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
So let's see what we got here. So Obi-Wan Kenobi series to begin production in April, which is crazy considering the delay that we've kind of had with this and rewrites and what have you. And boom, here we go, man. Production's kicking off, which is nice. Obi-Wan Kenobi, the new Disney Plus special event series starring Ewan McGregor as the iconic Jedi Master, will begin shooting in April. The story begins 10 years after the dramatic events of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, where Kenobi faced his greatest defeat, the downfall and corruption of his best friend and Jedi apprentice Anakin Skywalker turned evil Sith Lord Darth Vader. Let's talk about that. So this is 10 years after Sith, which is going to put Luke at 10 years old. So
Yeah.
interesting. So he's been a hermit on Tatooine for 10 years, and after 10 years of peace and silence, then something is going to disrupt that then. What could that be?
So I don't know. So I like you wonder what it's going to be, because, you know, okay, we obviously have Darth Vader, and he was at the end of episode 3, and, you know, Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, you know, took over watching Luke, and then obviously Leia's long gone in Alderaan. So I believe Joel Edgerton is reprising his role as Uncle Owen. So, you know, we're definitely going to be getting some, you know, young Luke Skywalker sequences and story, which I think is cool.
Yeah,
because what we'll probably see, and this is just kind of my thought, is I think they're going to set it up very similar to, like, it's going to be kind of the vibe from episode 1, where you have little Anakin kind of walking around, and then like Qui-Gon's like watching after him. And I think that'll be a vibe from this, where we're going to see little Luke Skywalker probably walking around Tatooine doing his thing. And we're going to see Ben Kenobi kind of in the shadows watching after him, making sure, you know, nobody fucks with him.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what is like going to be the call to action though for Obi-Wan, you know, is it Darth Vader coming back for him? Is he coming after his kids? I mean, I don't, you know, who knows, man? Like, I don't know how they're going to go with this story.
Yeah, it's definitely intriguing. I'm almost curious if they kind of do away with how they handled the Darth Maul story and concluded that, and they find a way to still kind of pigeonhole that in here to where it's cohesive enough, but it doesn't quite follow the Rebel story. I'm interested for sure. 10 years after, so that's a good gap of time. And Obi-Wan Kenobi is directed by Deborah Chow, which we've known, which is super cool because the episodes that she had done for The Mandalorian were awesome. So
yeah, she killed it.
Yes, it's very exciting for her to be back. Also marks the return of Hayden Christensen in the role of Darth Vader, which we had just somewhat recently had kind of heard that. I think that was about a month or two ago when they dropped that. And that's intriguing too, because now it's, how do we see him come back? Are we going to see flashback sequences with him? Are we going to see them communicating through the Force? Are we going to actually see them face to face? That's going to be very interesting.
I really think maybe two things. I think number one, we're going to get a lot of flashbacks. I think we're going to get a lot of stuff going back to like scenes that we never really saw from the prequel trilogy. of them bonding together and
that'd be so
growing
cool,
together.
dude.
So I think that would be kind of neat. I would freaking love it if we got an extended cut of Anakin like taking out Padawans. You
Oh my
know,
gosh, dude!
like
Can you imagine that?
show me his like dirty deeds. You know what I'm saying?
Well, because
Like,
Obi-Wan watched that security footage, dude. So
right.
they I guess they could.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I feel like is going to happen. Is we're going to get a lot of flashbacks to their rise and fall as a friendship and everything. So, showing kind of the deep cuts of what Anakin did to the Jedi Temple, to the Padawans. His hand in Order 66, I think would be awesome to kind of help build that character.
Yeah.
And then I really wouldn't mind if they had a confrontation. He removes his mask. I mean, put Hayden Christensen in some makeup, kind of give him that, revenge or Revenge of the Sith, like facial, stuff that he had going on when he got burnt up on Mustafar. Like, that'd be kind of cool,
Yeah. Dude, when you when you just dropped it, I was just thinking like Boss Nass. Like, make on with him.
You start saying. But
holy shit.
Yeah, man, I love Hayden Christensen, man. I know we like fool around a lot and we joke around about his acting, but I'm a big fan of his, dude. I would love to see him come back and do some cool shit like that. And I've always wanted like a more rough around the edges and uncut version of Revenge of the Sith. Like, it was George Lucas, so obviously it was catered to, a younger crowd, but I'd love to see a really ruthless Anakin Skywalker that you can show to a more adult audience, which I definitely think this will be catered to.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. And honestly, what I would hope stems off of this, if we can get a really good response to Hayden coming back as Vader, dude, what we all need. Stop fleshing all this other stuff out that doesn't need to be fleshed out. If they did a Vader series with Hayden coming back and we got to see like a legit tale of Vader hunting down Jedi, Ian McDiarmid would come back as the Emperor in a heartbeat, dude. If you did a Vader story hunting down Jedi after the events of Revenge of the Sith and just seeing that relationship with him and Palpatine and that control continue to manipulate him, that would be awesome, dude. So that's what I hope we get out of this in the long run.
I definitely think it'll be good. And plus, this is, with Deborah Chow being the director, now we know that it's going to be Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, kind of pulling the strings in the background. So we know we're going to get good shit. You know what I mean? This isn't going to be co-opted by any like suits from up above.
Right. Yeah, dude. And we're going to take a look at this casting too. So obviously Ewan McGregor we know is coming back, which I just think that's ridiculously cool that he's coming back into this, and Hayden's coming back, which is awesome. The intriguing ones on here to me more than anything, you'd mentioned Joel Edgerton coming back, and then also Bonnie, and I'm going to botch this last name, Bonnie Piesse or Piesse. These two coming back as Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru to reprise. I mean, we're going back to 2005, dude, for Revenge of the Sith. So 16 years later, they're coming back to reprise those roles. I don't know how big of an actress Bonnie is. I don't know anything else that she's done, but I know Joel Edgerton obviously is not a household name, but he's out there, dude. Like, he's done a lot. So if he's coming back into this, he's going to have relevance. There's going to be conversations with him and Obi-Wan in this. You don't bring him back if he's just going to be sitting in the background somewhere. So what are those conversations like, dude? Like, is Obi-Wan like looking over Luke and he's talking to Uncle Owen and just like, make sure you feed him his greens because when he becomes a strong lad, he's got to take down the Empire. Like,
I think it's
what
more
is that
of
gonna
like,
be?
I don't know, dude. I honestly think it's going to be more animosity from Uncle Owen, because I mean, we get a lot of that in A New Hope where he's basically like, Ben Kenobi, he's just a crazy person, right? He's just a fool. He's like a old fool. And so I think it's going to be mostly, okay, we have Obi-Wan watching after him, kind of lurking in the shadows, and then maybe he and Uncle Owen do connect, but I think it's more Uncle Owen probably saying, hey, like, stay away from my kid,
Yeah, you're not going to fail him the way you failed his father or something.
Yeah, there's got to be something, because I mean, when we go to the events of A New Hope, I mean, Luke really doesn't have any clue who Obi-Wan is. I mean, he's heard about him. He's like, oh, is that old Ben? Like, but he doesn't really know who he is. You know what I mean? And that kind of leads you to believe, okay, something happened where Uncle Owen wanted to distance himself and his family from Obi-Wan. You know,
Right.
could it be that now the Empire has such a strong grip on the galaxy that Uncle Owen really just wants to protect his family from getting killed off? You know, so like
Yeah.
maybe now there's the Stormtrooper presence on Mos Eisley. Maybe there's just a heavy Empire presence, and he's just like, oh shit, we got to go underground. Like we got to make sure no one knows Luke Skywalker is Vader's kid. You know?
Yeah. He's like, you already put us in enough danger by bringing me this damn kid, dude. Anakin's been on this homestead before. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
There's some cool names on this cast list, dude. There's some people that I had no clue would be a part of this project. O'Shea Jackson Jr., you know, Ice Cube's kid.
Right.
He's an awesome actor. I don't know if you've seen some of his other stuff, but I mean, he was in the Straight Outta Compton movie, which he did a phenomenal job.
He played his dad in that, right?
Yep. And then he was in, oh my God, I forgot the name, but it was a great heist movie about some bank robbers robbing like the Federal Reserve. But he played a bank robber, and it was a pretty dope movie too. It was kind of like Heat, but yeah, everything he's done that I've seen is awesome. And then Ben Safdie, I mean, he did, you know, Uncut Gems, and
yeah,
I thought he looked
familiar,
Uncut Gems.
Okay.
He's also in that other one I'll let you borrow, Good Time.
I've got that. I got to watch that still.
Yeah, so I wonder what he's going to have, you know, a role in this series, because he's really interesting. And I mean, his movies are super artsy. So it's just kind of interesting that he's signed on to this project.
Yeah, definitely, dude. The one that stood out to me that I was really pumped on is Camille Ninjani.
Oh, dude, he's so funny. Dude, I love him.
Yeah, awesome, dude. And my introduction to him was in The Big Sick, which was kind of like his life story, which was kind of cool. And I loved that movie. And for him to tap into Star Wars now, because he's in the Eternals as well, dude. So he's tapped into Marvel and Star Wars, dude, like all this year, basically, which is kind of wild because Eternals drops later this year.
He got jacked for that role, too.
Yes, dude.
He's like super muscular now, which is cool. But I wonder what he's going to play. Like, what do you think? Is he going to be like some dude who works in town, you know, like the Mos Eisley, like spaceport? Or is he like going to be a creature? Like, are they going to put some effects on him?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like,
I feel like how many of these people are going to be wearing like costumes, and that you're not going to know who the hell they are.
And that's the thing, dude. I feel like he's the only person, at least out of this year, that to me, I mean, some of these faces I recognize and stuff, but to me, he's the most recognizable face out of what I would be considered kind of like the second tier of the actors on here. And I feel like he'd be fine if you didn't put him in makeup, but he's the one person I could see that you'd hide him somewhere, and he could be like some alien that communicates with Obi-Wan, like as a somewhat of a companion, or, you know, something like that.
He's got a really like big personality, which I think would boast well as like kind of a sidekick character too.
Right. He's got to have some. You'd think he'd have some kind of like a like the comedic breaking of like tension. Like he'd be that person, you know. For sure.
Yeah. What about Sung Kang, dude?
Yeah, so, dude, okay, I know this guy's face. Tell me something that he's in. Do you know offhand?
Well, he was in Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Is the Fast and Furious. Okay. Yeah, dude.
I know this sounds bad, but he also looks like Liu Kang's brother.
He does look like Liu Kang's brother, dude.
But I'm like, he's too young to be Liu Kang's brother, dude. But then I was like, yeah, that's the dude from Tokyo Drift, man.
Halcyon and On starts playing, dude. Tears start falling. Oh, it's emotional.
But yeah, I know he's from Tokyo Drift. I don't know. He's been in other Fast and the Furious movies, I think, after Tokyo Drift. I haven't seen many of the sequels, but
I think
they bring him back.
Yeah, I think he stuck around through like Fast 5, and then he got killed off in the 6th one, maybe, I'm remembering. I think something like Jason Statham kills him in like a post-credit scene or something.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and he got Moses Ingram, Indira Varma, Rupert Friend, Simone Kessel.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with a lot of these other folks. Rupert Friend looks like a fucking villain, so...
Right?
His face just looks mean, dude. I think he's going to be a bad guy.
Dude, you know what he looks like? You know what he looks like, dude? He looks like if Leonardo DiCaprio got casted in the Billy Zane role for Titanic. That's what he looks like to me, dude.
Dude, straight up, man. He looks, oh my God. Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, this is a cool lineup, dude. I'm happy about it, man. I'm stoked. I think it's just enough to get the juices flowing, you know? Like,
yeah, it's kind of perfect, dude. You your mainstay returning people. I think it's smart for Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. You've kind of got a couple familiar faces and then a couple people that, you know, are probably going to get a big break through this, which is pretty neat. So I think it's a good list of cast. I'm really excited about what this is. Nothing that stands out where it's just like, oh shit, man, I don't know how I could see this person in Star Wars, you know?
Yeah, you know, just one last thought on this, man. Ewan McGregor, like, was kind of just getting started in acting when episode 1 came out.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
We've gotten like 20 plus years of his acting improving and getting to the next level. I mean, look at his work in Doctor Sleep in Birds of Prey. I mean, those are two of my favorite roles that he's played. I think he's going to freaking bring it, dude. You know, he's got that much more experience in the acting world that now he can really come back and play a very wise Obi-Wan. And I'm all for it, dude.
Yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. I was very, 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 very against this when they announced it, dude. Like,
yeah, I think I was too.
Oh man.
Well, I mean, it's you know, it originally just felt like, okay, now we're just gonna nitpick pieces of the original trilogy and like, you know, tell more about it. And it's kind of like, do we really need to like know about these little things? Right. But as more has come to light, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. You know, like when Rogue One came out at first, when they first dropped the information, I was kind of like, do I really need that story? Like, I kind of know what's going to happen, right? They're going to die. But then like more came out and then they actually ended up being a really good film. So yeah, I feel like this will be the same. And I'd be interested to get more stuff like this. You know, we're going to get the Book of Boba Fett, which will be sweet. And then, you know,
yes.
Hopefully, like you said, they do kind of expand on that Vader story. That would be super cool,
dude.
And I'm still hoping, dude. Give me a proper Han Solo, Jabba the Hutt smuggler story about him dropping his load and he owes the Hutts money. Give me a real come on, give it to me, dude. Fuck that Solo movie. Give me a real Han Solo story, dude. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, not a 2-hour commercial for the story that we want to see.
Right, exactly.
Give us the story. Yeah, dude. We'll see, man. Oh, that'd be cool if they kind of found a way to still work that out here. If anything, I hope this does lead to Vader for sure. Ewan McGregor coming back is right now what it's all about, dude. It's just too cool, man. Do you got any final thoughts or any theories that you think there's got to be some surprise in this, you'd think, to some extent. So is there anything that kind of comes to mind?
I mean, I think we're gonna for sure get like a legit battle between Obi-Wan and Vader. We have to. Like, I mean, we got that little bit in A New Hope, you know, at the end, and it is what it is. But like, I think we're gonna get a legit saber duel, like, of them much older and much more brutal, which I think will be cool. I'm excited to see the choreography they do with it too, because, you know, if anyone from The Mandalorian is involved with this, and as far as like a choreography perspective, it's going to be fucking awesome. And the only thing I can really say about this is I'm really hoping that it's just as good or better than The Mandalorian, because I think the more stuff that Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, Deborah Chow, these more like independent free thinkers of Lucasfilm can put out, like, the more we're going to get legit stories on the big screen. Because you know, right now there is kind of that internal struggle as to what's going to go to Disney Plus, what's going to be a theater release, what's going to be constituted a movie versus a series. You know, the more you can put on some of these guys that we really love, I think the more it's going to influence Disney to say, hey, let's give these guys a shot at a movie, you know, because we've never gotten a Dave Filoni movie. We haven't gotten anything from Jon Favreau on the big screen yet. So
yep.
That's all I'd really have to say.
I'm with you, man. I'm kind of in that same boat. I feel like I hope it's handled properly so it doesn't feel shoehorned, but it's a total missed opportunity if they're not going to do something with a grand scale lightsaber battle to some extent, dude. Like, it's just, there's no point in bringing Hayden back. Anybody could fill that suit. So, it's going to be exciting, man. We'll see what happens. We'll definitely be on this story here as more develops. The fact that production starts next month means they're ready and they're moving with this. So, I'm sure we'll get official release dates for these episodes. I believe it's going to be 6 episodes, the last that they had said with this. So we'll see if that stays the same. And
now, have they said if this is going to be a limited series like a Book of Boba Fett, like it's just going to be a one shot?
This is it. Yeah,
this is it. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's cool, you know, because it's not gonna oversaturate the idea. It's not gonna like overload us with information. It's kind of like, okay, get in, get out, tell the story, which I like. You know, I feel like if they try to go too far into this as like a multi-season thing, it's gonna get a little old. But I'm hoping it opens up for other things.
Yeah, no, dude, 100%. Because if you go into it with that mentality of, like everybody does now, oh, let's go into this with the plan of making multiple seasons, it's just you're shooting yourself in the foot. Get in, tell your story, get out. With Ewan McGregor coming back enthusiastically, my hope lies in that he would only come back to this if they were going to do this properly, because his legacy as Obi-Wan, I mean, really is kind of the staple of the prequels. So I don't think he would come back and tarnish that in any capacity.
Yeah.
So that gets me definitely hopeful and excited with what we're going to get here. And as more kind of develops and we find out more as production kicks in here, and hopefully we'll get some promotional stills for, to kind of see who some of these actors are going to be. We will be back to talk about it. We will stick to this like glue, because Star Wars news is good news, and we'll definitely be around to talk about it, guys. So, again, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Click that bell for notifications. If you enjoyed the content today, give the video a thumbs up and drop some comments down below. I'd love to know any theories that you've got about this, and really specifically, where do you think Hayden Christensen is going to take Vader in this here? I think that's the most intriguing thing about this show right now is how Vader is going to be used. So... we'll kind of see where it goes, though, guys, and we'll catch you in the next video.